ionization energy. So in that ionization energy, first we have to discuss the definition of ionization energy. Simply, to remove an electron from the outermost shell of an atom, then how much energy you are using, that required energy we call ionization energy. Because already we have small information, or we have an awareness is atom is basically neutral charge, right? Then when you remove the electron, right, the electrons number is decreases by 1 unit, but number of protons are as it is, means up to that the electrons which are having equal number of with protons, right, but after removing of electron it is changed into positive charge or not. For that, the energy which is required to remove the electron, that energy we call ionization energy. Then the removed electron from what? Not from inner shell. It is must be from outer shell, because from the inner shell we can't be remove the electron, right? Because inner electrons are having more attraction by nucleus, but outer shell does not act with the same force by nucleus. For that, easy to remove electrons from outer shell. Then how it is varied in periods? So from left to right. So how it is varied? Already we are familiar, when we are moving from left to right in the periodic table, the atomic radius is decreased, means size is slowly decreasing. Then to remove the electron, right? So left side the size is bigger and right side the size is little bit smaller. For that, here we require less energy, but in right side whatever the atom is there in the same period, it requires more energy, because here nucleus size is small but here nucleus size is bigger. Here we have more attraction force, then we have to give more energy to remove. For that, when you are moving from left to right in the periods, the ionization energy value is increased, because the atomic radius is decreased. So here bigger in size in the right side, that is smaller in size. For that, the value is gradually increased from left to right. Then if you come to the groups, so in groups first element is having small in size, and as you come to last one the size is increased. Then in first element to remove the electron we have to give more energy, but in last atom, right, so whatever the group of elements is there, to remove the electron from the last one it is easy, because size is bigger, the attraction force is less here, nucleus attraction is less, for that easy to remove. Then ionization energy in the groups from top to bottom it is decreases, right? It is quite opposite to the condition of atomic size, right? What the ionization energy we can measure in kilojoules or kilocalories. So especially the elements quantity we can able to take in mole. For that we can able to take the units are kilojoules per mole or kilocalorie per mole. The units of ionization energy is kilojoules per mole or kilocalories per mole. This is in SI unit, this is CGS unit. Then we have one more concept. If you take a particular element, the element name I consider as M. Then if you are removing one electron, so here I am ready to remove one electron, then that particular atom is will become positive charge. Then what I eliminated? I eliminated one electron. Then it can able to get the positive charge or not. So that we call, from the neutral atom on removing of electron, whatever the unit positive charge atom is or species is present, that we call the first ionization energy. We call as IE1. Right? Then if you take same positive element and if you are ready to remove one more electron, means this is first electron, this is second electron. So first electron removed from neutral atom. Then from the neutral atom, if I able to remove the second electron, because already this is positive one or not. From the positive one, I am going to remove one more, means that is second electron. Then here I need more energy because already this is positive. Then I am able to try to remove the second one. For that, I am giving additional energy than first time. And it is able to turn as 2 units positive on removing of second electron. Then this one we call the ionization energy 2 or second ionization energy. Always second ionization energy value is more than first ionization energy. We are able to write like this. IE2 is always greater than IE1 because first ionization energy is based on only neutral atom, but second ionization energy is from positive species. For that, to remove the second electron from a charged species, that to positive charged one, we require more energy. So this is the concept why second ionization energy is more than first ionization energy. So this is the reason. Have you got the clarity? Okay. In ionization energy, this is the last information. What factors can affect the ionization energy? This is very, very important. So we have 5 different factors which can change the ionization energy of particular element. The first factor is nuclear charge. Already we discussed, if nucleus is small one, right, then the ionization energy value is less, right? If the nucleus charge is more, means the size of nucleus is big, then ultimately the ionization energy value is maximum or more, right? Then with the nucleus charge, right, we are able to get the variation in the ionization energy or not. If the nucleus charge is less, then ultimately ionization energy also less. If nuclear charge is more, then ultimately ionization energy also more, because nuclear charge means it is ready to attract, but ionization energy means ready to remove. If you have less energy, you are ready to remove easily. If you have more energy, it is difficult to remove, right? Then next is about screening effect. Screening effect we call as covering one. So if you take here one example, if I take beryllium, we can able to write as 1s2 and 2s2. Then as per 9th class, this is we can write 2k and 2l. Then if you take the condition like this, first electrons and second electrons. So first electrons is having more attraction by nucleus than second electrons. Then what happened? The nucleus attraction is less on second or valence electrons, because these two fellows are able to show shielding, means covering one. Then ultimately, when we have more shielding one, if you take almost like cesium or francium, we have almost 7 orbits. Then what happened? On 7th orbit, then nucleus charge is very, very less, because first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, all should be able to control, or all should be able to shield the attraction force. Therefore, that 7th orbit electrons does not get a proper attraction by nucleus. Then ultimately, if shielding effect is more, the ionization energy value is less. If shielding effect is less, means no one inner electrons is covering the nucleus charge as a shield, then ultimately the nucleus is able to show more attraction and valency. For that, if shielding effect is more, then ultimately ionization energy value is less. If shielding effect only less, then ultimately the ionization energy is ultimately more, right? So that is the effect of shielding effect or screening effect on ionization energy. Then third one is penetration power of orbitals. Simply penetration power means when we have the nucleus attraction on different electrons, then all electrons able to move towards the nucleus. Then ultimately the size of atom is decreases. Then ultimately what happened? To remove the electron from the outermost shell, it requires more energy. For that, if penetration power is of orbitals is increased, then ultimately to remove the electron we require more energy. Then in the penetration power, high penetration is possible for s orbital, because in each and every shell we can able to get s orbital as first and the p orbitals are next, and followed by d, finally f. For that, high penetration for s orbital and moderate, less and quite less, we have to get the identity. So high penetration for s orbital, then second value is for p orbital, third value for d orbital, and last value of penetration for f orbital, if you take the example. Then here one more, we have to get how fourth factor is able to affect. The fourth factor is here stable configuration. If you take one example as here, I am taking one example as nitrogen, we can able to see 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So this is a half filled electronic configuration. Already we discussed in the time of structure of atom. Then if you take oxygen, it is having configuration as 2p4. So this is the outermost configuration. Then this is half filled. It is neither half filled nor full filled, because here 2 electrons only empty. But in this we called all electrons is in unpaired condition. This is having stable condition. This is unstable. Further, to remove from electron from this nitrogen, we require more energy than oxygen, because this is in unstable condition, because here 4 electrons are there. To get the stability, 2 more electrons are required. But here already it is stable one, because half filled. So such type of condition is able to affect the ionization energy. For that, so stable configuration we require more ionization energy. If it is unstable, that is required less ionization energy. Then last one, atomic radius. Already we discussed how it is changing the periods and groups. So in periods, atomic radius is decreased, then ultimately ionization energy is increased. That was we discussed. In groups, the size of atomic radius is increased, then ultimately ionization energy is decreased. So these are the 5 factors which can able to change the ionization energy. So this is very important. Just have to take a look again. Okay. In explanation of next concept, that is electron affinity. Electron affinity. So it is a reverse process when you compare with ionization energy. In ionization energy, we are removing one electron from outermost shell of a neutral atom. But in this, we are able to join one electron to the atom, that too in outermost orbit. Then what happens? So when electron is joined in the outermost orbit, right, like this, then the atom is ready to release certain energy. The atom is ready to release certain energy. So that released energy by an atom we simply call as electron affinity, or else it is also called as electron gaining enthalpy. Electron gaining enthalpy. It is simply having units as same like ionization energy, that is kilojoules per mole. Kilojoules per mole. Or else we have kilocalories per mole. So kilojoules per mole as like SI unit, and kilocalories per mole as like CGS. Right? What we discussed in yesterday. Then this electron affinity or electron gaining enthalpy are also having Same like ionization energy. We discussed yesterday first ionization energy and second ionization energy. Like that, if you take electron affinity, right? So, if you take electron affinity from neutral atom, if you add one electron, this one able to get a negative charge, right? So here I am taking one element, right? So the receiving capacity maximum is only for non-metals. For that here I am taking non-metal Nm, right? Yesterday we taken metal, right? So here you have to write as Nm. Then on receiving, on taking off an electron, it will get a negative charge. Then it can able to release certain energy. But if you add one more electron, right? So already one electron is received, means unique negative charged species. If you add one more electron, there is no chance to get the, or there is no chance to release the energy. This released energy is very less, but this one is little bit more. From that we can able to say that first electron affinity is always more than second electron affinity. So same thing I am writing. EA1 is always greater than EA2 because second electron joining already it is having excess electron. Then if you are able to add one more electron, there is no chance to get a nucleus attraction. For that, atoms cannot be released any energy. For that, we can take the condition as EA1 greater than EA2. Here EA means electron affinity, right? So in continuity about electron affinity, so how it is changed in periods and groups. So if you check into the periods, when you are moving from left to right, already we discussed, the atomic size is decreased, right? So if you take left side, the atomic size is bigger one. As you are moving to right side, the atomic size is decreased. Then when you have the electron affinity comparing with or based on the knowledge of atomic size, so simply the electron affinity is increases because left side elements are metals and right side are you are moving of right side in the periodic table, that is non-metals. So the non-metals are ready to receive the electrons, especially if you take oxygen, it is able to show -2. If you take fluorine, it can able to show -1 charge. If you take nitrogen, it can able to show -3 charge. -3 means it ready to receive 3 electrons. Here oxygen ready to receive 2 electrons. So that nature is possible for non-metals. For that, when you are moving from left to right in the periodic table, right, the electron affinity value is increases due to decreasing of atomic size or atomic radius. Then when you compare in the groups, when you are moving from top to bottom in the groups of particular periodic table, the electron affinity property is able to decrease because same reason, the atomic size is slowly increased or not. So here number of shells are increased, already we discussed in atomic radius type, right? So here we have only single shell, but when you came to the last one in the any group, it is having 7 shells. So in 7th shell we consider as the outermost shell. So the nucleus attraction is less. For that, electron on joining into the atom outermost shell, that atom may or may not be release the energy, but it is possible for when the atom is having small in size. So simply we called as the electron affinity value is decreases due to increasing of atomic size in the group, right? So that is the variation in periods and groups. Then as like one more thing, what factors can affect the electron affinity? Same like yesterday, one is nuclear charge, another one is we have screening effect, third one is penetration, fourth one is stable configuration, last one is atomic radius. These all should be affect the electron affinity, as like same what we discussed in yesterday's class about ionization energy, right? Have you got a clarity? The next property, periodical property, that is electronegativity. In electronegativity, if you take the definition, simply the relative tendency of an atom of element which can able to attract the pair of electrons which is in bonded with another atom of element. For example, here we have to take one example like this. If you take what? So simply I am taking the example as here NaCl. Just for example, not for any confirmation, for your clarity purpose. Already in last year we have the condition. It is having 2K, 8L and 1M. Whereas come to chlorine, it is having 2K, 8L and 7M. Here chlorine is required one electron, here sodium is ready to lose one electron. That was we discussed. Then in such conditions, so here we have to take a condition like this. So this one is ready to donate one electron to this. So for that I am taking like this. So this is one atom and this is one atom, right? So these two are able to having only each one electron like this. So this one we called as a pair of electrons. Pair of electrons. Then here we have more protons for chlorine and less number of protons for sodium. Here almost protons are 17 because atomic number of chlorine is 17 and sodium is 11. Then in addition we have neutrons also. For that here nucleus size is bigger, means atomic size is very small when you compare with sodium. Right? Then due to that reason here pair of electrons is little bit attracted by chlorine. The pair of electrons should move towards the nucleus of chlorine. So the attraction of pair of electrons by any one nucleus of atom we call electronegativity. Right? So this electronegativity is increased in the periods. Because already we discussed, when you move from left to right in the periodic table, the atomic size is slowly decreases or gradually decreases. Then when the size of atom is small, it is ready to attract the electrons. For that, in periods, the electronegativity property increases. Then coming to the groups, the electronegativity property decreases because from top to bottom, the atomic size increases. For that, the attraction power will decrease. So decreasing of attraction power means simply the electronegativity property is decreased. Right? Then here you have to take one more information about electronegativity. That is, the electronegativity value we have to measure on Pauling scale. Pauling scale. So this is very important in big purpose, right? Moreover, this Pauling scale is designed by Linus Pauling. For that scale itself having name as Pauling scale. The highest value of electronegativity element in the entire periodic table is fluorine. The value of fluorine electronegativity value is almost 4. And the least value of electronegativity element is cesium. Right? That is the main information what we have in academic. Right? Then one more. Here simply the electronegativity value En is equal to the average of ionization energy and electron affinity value. Means electronegativity is equal to ionization energy plus electron affinity average value. So that is the calculation principle, right? To know the electronegativity value. Right? Have got a last property in periodic properties, that is electropositivity. So once you look into the definition, the ability to lose the electron an atom is called electropositivity. Means atom is ready to lose the electron, right? So for that, the electropositivity property, how it is changed in the periods as well as groups. So simply, the losing of electrons nature is majorly having character by only metals, because if you take any example, metals are we consider as good conductors from our previous knowledge. If you take electricity, right, all good conductors are metals because they are having lot of electrons. They are able to shuffle from one place to another place easily, right? Then from that, here we have left side as metals. As you are moving to right side, it is non-metals. For that, electropositivity is more for metals, and as you are moving to the right side, that should be non-metals. No, for that, the electropositivity nature is slowly decreases or gradually decreases, so that easy to identify, right? Then how it is changed in the groups? So when you are moving from top to bottom, the metallic character is increased. Already we discussed in about metallic and non-metallic character. For that, when metallic character is increases, ultimately the electropositivity also increases, right? So this is the variation of periods and groups, how electropositivity is able to change or vary. Have you got a clarity about this? In the periodic table, we have to take a little bit more information after the completion of properties, right? So here information is, if you take the periods information, first period, second period, third period, fourth period, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one. So in which period what orbitals are appear? Means already we are familiar in writing of configuration, right? Electron configuration, we have to fill the electrons in the orbitals. So to know that, if you take 1s orbital, right? Sorry, if you take first period, so in that only configuration is based on 1s. This is 1s1 and that helium is 1s2. Then come to second period, it is having only two informations or two orbitals. Here started with 2s and ends with 2p, because it is lithium 2s1, beryllium 2s2, and going on. Here boron configuration is 2p1 and continues up to neon 2p6. Then coming to third period, it is started with 3s and finished with 3p. So 3s and from aluminium to argon, that will starts and ends with 3p. Then coming to fourth period, it is started with 4s, right? But middle, from scandium onwards, we can able to get a 3d. Yesterday we discussed the configuration of the orbital is started from n minus 1. Here you have the n value as 4. Here we can able to get n minus 1, means 4 minus 1, 3. For that, this orbital we call as 3d and followed by 4p. Then coming to fifth one, so it is having 5s, right? Then here we can able to start 5 minus 1, 4, for that 4d, and ends with 5p, right? Then coming to sixth one, so 6s, right? Then 6s after we have to write f orbitals, right? Yesterday we discussed below of the periodic table we have two horizontal lines, right? So that we call as lanthanides from cerium to lawrencium, right? Then from cerium to lutetium, whatever the atoms are there, that should be having configuration as 4f. So that 4f we can adjust in the sixth period. For that, here configuration is 4f followed by 5d and 6p. Then coming to seventh period, it is also started 7s followed by 5f, right? And followed by 6d and 7p. So these are the existing orbitals in each and every period, right? So this is a little bit informative one, right? So in which orbital we can able to exist in different periods. Moreover, from this we can able to get the calculation. Here number of electrons are 2, for that the existing number of elements is only 2. Here 2 plus 6, 8 were there, 2 plus 6, 8 were there, then 2 plus 10 plus 6, for that 18, 2 plus 10 plus 6, again 18, then 2 plus 14 plus 10 plus 6, for the 32, then here also 32. But yesterday we discussed the condition as 3 spaces is unfilled one, right? For that, here we can't get a fixed number, right? Same information we discussed in the first introduction of periodic table or not. So that is the information about this particular one. Then in addition, so that is having, if you able to select a particular element, if you select a particular element, we can able to write the total information. What is the configuration? What is the valency? Yeah, whether it is metal or not metal. For that, we have to take one example. Take one element. If I take an beryllium, we can able to know the different information only from periodic table. For that, first I selected the beryllium. Then from this, we can able to notice the configuration is like this. This is second A or not? For that, it is having general configuration. General configuration, that is NS2. From that, it is present in second period or not? For that, we can able to write the configuration as 2s2, because second period configuration is S2 or not? For that, configuration is S2. Then 2s2 is configuration. Then in which period? So period number is clear, it is in second period. Then which group? Already the number of outermost electrons we simply call as group number. Here first group, this is second group. For that, it is group 2 or it is second A, because this one we call as B. Third B, fourth B, fifth B, sixth B, like that we can able to discuss in explanation of periodic table. Then not only this, we can able to know the valence electrons. Valency electrons. So the number of valence electrons here 2s2 means before we have the configuration as 1s2. For that, second shell is 2 or not, right? Then how many electrons are there? 2 electrons are there. For that, valence electrons are simply we call valence electrons is 2 number of electrons. Then what is the valency? It is a little bit easy to identify. So valency is 2. Then what is the difference of valence electrons and valency? Valence electrons means how many electrons are there in the outermost shell. Here valency means the combining capacity of atom, that you have to keep in mind, right? Then we can able to get one more information, that is whether it is having metallic nature or non-metallic nature. So when an atom electron configuration ends with S, either in S1 or S2. So already we discussed the first two groups are in metallic nature. For that, the given atom is metallic nature. Like that, can able to write the information or not? So once you identify the place in the periodic table, we can able to get total data about that particular element. Moreover, in which block it is present, already configuration is 2s2. For that, it is in S block. Like that, we can able to write complete data about each and every element. So this is the additional information when you look into the periodic table, right?